A very good afternoon to all our friends who are logged in. Wishing all of you a very pleasant afternoon. Today, the 5th of August, we start with our session on business mathematics and statistics. So dear students, this has been a wonderful journey so far, and we have covered many chapters of mathematics and logical reasoning. Today is the last class of logical reasoning, and this is going to be chapter 13 of our syllabus. So this is also my last session with you for the time being, and I'm sure all of you have gone through the August schedule and you are aware that from the next session your statistics portion will start. So today is the last day for logical reasoning, and with this we have completed 60 marks out of 100 because mathematics carries 40 marks and logical reasoning carries 20 marks. Now we are starting with syllogism, and we shall be completing this chapter today. Syllogism, as the name suggests, we will first discuss about what syllogism is. You can see that syllogism, L-O-G, you have L-O-G, log, within syllogism, and this L-O-G stands basically for logic, right? So syllogism, we will first know what syllogism is, what is meant by proposition. There are a number of rules which we need to learn in syllogism, and please note that from the exam perspective, this chapter is fairly important chapter because you can expect 3 to 4 questions on syllogism in your exam. There are a number of rules to be understood. So this chapter is also very important as a theory chapter because there are a lot of concepts to understand. Like previously when we did, say, the chapters on seating arrangement, blood relations, we had very little to discuss and we focused more on the practical examples. But in this chapter, syllogism, we have to understand a lot of new things. Then we shall move on to the solved examples, right? So this chapter is very important on theory part. So I will request you, all of you, to go through the chapter, look at the video many times. You may not be able to understand everything in the first shot, but go through the video many times so that you have better idea about syllogism. And as I said, that try to understand the logic involved. Plus, we shall be reviewing many of the examples which are solved, and we shall move on to the questions in chapter exercise number 13A. Thereafter, we shall also cover questions from CA May 2020 MTP. And since today is the last day of logical reasoning and the portion which I have covered, so I will also take queries on seating arrangements, blood relations, and fortunately, very fortunately, the Board of Studies has shared with us some very, very important questions on syllogism, which I shall also explain to you and I will solve it. These are additional questions very kindly given to us by the Board of Studies, and I'll be, since today is the last session with you for the time being, I shall also share these problems with you, right? So this is what we have for the time being, and also for your reference, with regard to some problems, in the area of seating arrangement and blood relations, the Board of Studies has very kindly given some clarifications to certain problems, and so we shall also discuss those problems along with the clarifications. So dear students, that is how we shall be proceeding today, and we shall be completing syllogism in this session. Now first, what do you mean by syllogism? Well, you see, syllogism is a Greek word, it comes from a Greek, it has the origin is from Greek, the language in Greece, and the word syllogism contains the word, the letters L-O-G. So this word actually means logical argument. Syllogism means a logical argument, and it applies to reasoning. Right? So I will first write the most important points, syllogism, we have the word log, L-O-G, and it means reasoning, right? So please note these points because the study material Definitely we shall be following the study material, but these are the notes which you can refer later on when you prepare for the exams along with your study materials. So please keep noting the important words. So syllogism deals with logic, it deals with reasoning. And once you reason, you reach a conclusion. So the next point is to reach a conclusion. Okay, a conclusion. We shall see a number of examples of syllogism, reasoning, and conclusion. Now, another important point is that in case of syllogism, how do you reach conclusion? Now, I'm giving a very simple example, and this is part of logic. In fact, we call it deductive reasoning or deductive logic. Deductive logic. So, I'm giving an example. All men are mortal. All men are mortal. Suresh is a man, so Suresh is mortal. So all men are mortal means, this is like, statement number one. Statement number one, then we have statement number two. The first statement I said is all men are mortal. Okay? All men are mortal is an observation, is a statement. I am writing statement number one. What does it mean? All men are mortal. It means if a man is born, he or he will die. If a woman is born, she will die. So all men are mortal. Suresh is a man. Suresh is a man. So now you have the two statements. So now we come to the conclusion C. The conclusion, if you reason, if you apply logic, is that therefore Suresh is mortal. Okay? So all men are mortal, Suresh is a man, therefore Suresh is mortal. So this is basically what we call reasoning, and these two are the statements, and these statements are often known as premise. So a new word we come across, that is premise. P-R-E-M-I-S-E. Premise. Premise means a statement. Okay? So syllogism definitely, as you can see, is a particular method which deals with reasoning, with logic, with arguments. Okay? So reasoning, and I will also write the word argument here. Argument. And so reasoning, argument in order to reach a conclusion. Till now, in all chapters of logical reasoning, we arrived at a conclusion. Blood relation. We arrived at a conclusion so as to establish the relation between two individuals. When we looked at coding and decoding, you may remember. So there also we reached a conclusion. So here also we are reaching conclusion. Two statements are given. All men are mortal. Suresh is a man. And our conclusion is, since all men are mortal and since Suresh is a man, therefore Suresh has to be mortal. Right? So that means this is the essence, this is the basic of syllogism. Syllogism is a Greek word and it means deduction or conclusion. And of course, as I said, that these statements which you see, all men are mortal, Suresh is a man, these are known as premises or proposition. Proposition. So please keep noting. These are known as premises or proposition. So we have premise number one, all men are mortal. Premise number two, Suresh is a man, and therefore we have the conclusion, Suresh is mortal. So we are looking at so many new words: reasoning, conclusion, deductive logic, premise, also known as proposition. So I'm writing once again proposition. So premise or a proposition is like a statement. A premise or a proposition is like a statement. Right? Is it clear? Right. So you can see that logic means applying your common sense and arriving at a conclusion. Same in syllogism, it deals with statements, and these statements are known as proposition or premises. An example is all men are mortal, Suresh is a man, therefore Suresh is mortal. You can also have other types of, we will look at number of different propositions, right? So we will have two types of, statements, two statements followed by a conclusion. Now, as I said, that syllogism chapter, now why is it included in our syllabus? As a chartered accountant, will you be using this particular, chapter directly in your accounts, directly in your audit, in your tax, in your finance? Not directly, but indirectly, yes. Because the logic, the sense of logic, the sense of reasoning, right, and the sense of argument which you develop from this chapter will help you in all other remaining subjects which you will be studying in CA. Please note, even in the case of law, now you are studying about so many different types of law. From Sale of Goods Act, Partnership Act, the Indian Contract Act, you have learned about the Companies Act, the LLP Act. You must have seen in law also, there are so many sections, provisions. So there also a lot of logic is used. Reasoning is used. So in law also we reach a conclusion. Right? Same in mathematics, same in logical reasoning, we reach a conclusion based on statements. So two statements are given and we reach a conclusion. This entire process, this entire method is known as syllogism. So syllogism means to arrive at reasoning, using your reasoning to arrive at a conclusion based on certain statements, and the statements are known as premises or proposition. Right? I hope it's clear to you, dear students. So first comes premise or proposition. Premise or proposition means statements, like we have statements here. From the statements, we arrive at a conclusion. This process is called syllogism. Now, in the exam, 3 to 4 questions comes every term, whether it's May or November, every term. 3 to 4 questions comes from this chapter, syllogism. Now, the intention behind setting this question is to see whether the students can apply the rules of syllogism in a given scenario and arrive at the right conclusions. Right? So that is basically the objective behind introducing this chapter, and we have to keep this in mind, because once we know what is syllogism, the rules of syllogism, what is inference, once we know the entire syllogism, we also need to understand how to apply that in given situations, how to arrive at the right conclusions. And then only we shall be sure and confident that yes, we can attempt and score in any question on this chapter which can come in the exam. Right? Therefore, syllogism is the method of drawing conclusion or inferences from given statements, and the statements are known as proposition or premises. I think it's clear to you so far. Now, let us go into some basic law of syllogism. Now, as you saw, all men are mortal, Suresh is a man, therefore Suresh is mortal. Now, the basic law, just keep a note of this. I will request you to keep a note of this. I'm just rubbing this part. Premises and proposition, I think you have understood. Statements. Now, the basic law of syllogism says, that if, say the statement 1, S1, statement 1, and we have statement 2, S2. Statement 1, if it says that if P, then Q, and if statement 2 says if Q, then R, right? If P, then Q. If it rains, I will carry an umbrella. If P, then Q. Okay? If I study hard, then I will do well in the exam. If and then situation. If I take the institute classes seriously, I will do well. If and then. So if P, then Q. If Q, then R. If this is statement 2, then the conclusion will be, so C, the conclusion will be, if P, then R. That means, in the first case, the relation is P and Q. If P happens, then Q will happen. Okay? Right? If corona spreads faster, more lives will be lost. So if and then. Right? If more lives are lost, say Q means more lives will be lost. If more lives are lost, then R is, then the lockdown will be extended. So, if you combine them, the conclusion will be if P then R. That means if corona spreads faster, more, it becomes extensively, if it spreads, community spreading, then lockdown will be extended. So, once again I am explaining, if P then Q, if Q then R, then the conclusion is if P then R. Once again, P is spread of corona, COVID. Q is death. Okay, so let's write once again. P is COVID, spread of COVID. Q is death. And R is lockdown. Okay, so I'm taking an example from real life, not from any book. Okay, so if P then Q, if Q then R, therefore the conclusion is if P then R. So if COVID spreads further, if COVID spreads further, then deaths will increase. Right? You can see right now we are looking at a death rate of around maybe 3%, 2 to 3%. Right? That is the mortality rate, the rate at which people are dying. Out of 100 people, 2 to 3 persons are getting, they're losing their life. 60 to 70% is right now the recovery rate. So the logic is like this: if COVID spreads, then deaths will increase. If deaths increase, then lockdown will get extended. So if you combine them, we get if P then R. That means if COVID spreads, then lockdown will get extended. That means if P then Q, if Q then R. So Q and Q gets cancelled out. So now we have relation if P then R. Okay, I hope it's clear, dear students. This is the basic law of syllogism. In other words, another way of showing it is, so I hope you are noting this so that, as I said, always keep pen and paper handy so that whatever I discuss, you can note. And as I said, dear students, this chapter has a lot of theory, right? So before we go to the examples and we solve the questions, we need to know number of new concepts, right? This chapter is very much like the earlier chapter we did on functions and relations. A lot of new concepts, a lot of new terms, a lot of new ideas. So once we know all that, once we understand, then definitely we shall be in a position to move into questions and solve. But before that, we need a sound knowledge of syllogism. That's why I'm starting from the basics and I'm giving the basic idea that syllogism is a Greek word, number one. It means reasoning, it means deduction, it means to arrive at a conclusion. How do we arrive at a conclusion? Well, some statements will be given to us. Statements. If I study hard, I will pass CA Foundation. If I pass CA Foundation, right? If I pass CA Foundation, I will definitely pass CA IPCC. So these are statements. Okay. So in this way, statement 1 here, for example, I wrote earlier that all men are mortal. So you can replace that with any other statement. That means in case of syllogism, the idea is to link the statements, apply your reasoning and reach a conclusion. Therefore, we have understood and we have taken examples of what is premise or proposition. Statement is called proposition or premise. We understand what is argument, and the conclusion you can see is for every statement we have a conclusion C. Here the conclusion is if COVID spreads further, then lockdown may get extended in certain states. Okay, so this is how we deal with syllogism. In other words, very simple, another simple formula. Right? Just now you have written down this formula that if Q, then if P then Q, if Q then R, therefore if P then R. This is formula number 1. Right? The next formula, even a smaller one of course, is simple. If A equal to B and if B equal to C, then A equal to C. This is the basic of syllogism. This is the basic funda, the basic idea of syllogism. That means statement number 1 says A is B. A is B. Statement number 2 says B is C. Therefore, the conclusion is A is C. Please note, I'll write a word which all of you know. I have used the same word earlier when I explained functions. The word is transitive. 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 So please listen carefully. This chapter is not an easy chapter. You need to understand a lot of new concepts before you can attempt questions. That's why, as usual, like I talked in case of calculus, calculus is kept at the end of your mathematics syllabus. Why? It is the height. Syllogism is kept as the last chapter of logical reasoning. Why? Institute has a purpose for everything. Why it has been kept as chapter 13, the last chapter of logical reasoning? Because it is one of the most difficult in the logical reasoning part. But once again, difficult does not mean impossible. You have understood calculus, you have understood matrices, so definitely you will understand this. But please understand that this is the last chapter of logical reasoning, so you also need to little bit concentrate, try to understand, don't lose heart, try to understand, and slowly as we do the problems and the examples, definitely will pick up. For the time being, all you need to know is syllogism is a Greek word, deals with arguments, and the idea is to arrive at a conclusion. The second part is it deals with different statements and arrives at a conclusion. Statements are also known as proposition or premises, and we have seen two simple rules. If P then Q, statement 1. Statement 2, if Q then R. So the conclusion is if P then R. Right? Similarly, please note another rule, as I said, that if A equal to B and if B is equal to C, then A will be equal to C. This is also called transitive reasoning. Transitive. Why it is transitive? Transitive means to move, transit. We always say transmitting, transit can. Transitive is to move. Okay? You may remember that when we discussed long back about functions, right, and relations, I mentioned about 3 relations: reflexive, symmetric, and transitive. Right? I'm sure some of you remember. Reflexive, you remember 1, 1, 2, 2, reflexive. Symmetric was 1, 2, 2, 1. And transitive was 1, 2, 2, 3, therefore 1, 3. This is transitive. Here also, if A equal to B and B equal to C, then A is directly equal to C. You can see direct relation. So this is called transitivity. Please keep a note of this term, transitivity. Okay, so I'm just giving another example, if there was a small example I took. If P then Q, right, I'm writing it once again here. If P then Q, if Q then R, so P is equal to R. If P then we have R. If P then we have R. Okay, I give an example. If I study each subject 1 hour every day, just an example, doesn't mean that I have to study 1 hour. No, you should study more. But I'm giving an example. If I study each subject 1 hour every day, then I will get good marks. So this is a if and then. If I study every subject 1 hour daily, then I will get good marks. Statement 1. If I study every subject 1 hour daily, then I will get good marks. First statement. So statement 1, if P then Q. If I study 1 hour every day, every subject, each subject, then I will get good marks. If P then Q. First statement. Now we go to statement 2. If I get good marks, then I will get admission in a good college. So if I get good marks, if Q then R, then I will get admission in a good college. Okay? So now we have seen two statements. If I study every subject, each subject 1 hour daily, then I will get good marks. If then, first statement. The second statement, if I get good marks, then I will get admission in a good college. This is the second statement. So using syllogism, we integrate them, we combine them, and the conclusion is that if I study, if P then R, if I study 1 hour each subject every day, then I will get admission in a good college. So this is the concept of if P then Q, if Q then R, therefore conclusion is if P then R. Okay? Also this rule, if A is equal to B and if B is equal to C, then A equal to C, this is called transitive property, and please keep a note of this as well. Okay, now we see some more examples, okay, and we try to also add certain new words. We need to understand some new words. So transitive, I'm sure it is clear to you, right? It is clear, I hope, that you have understood what is transitive. If A equal to B and B is equal to C, then A equal to C. Transitive. Okay, now I was talking about statements and proposition statements, also known as proposition or premise. Okay, so let's take it in this way. Another example, say if I write all A are B, and if I write no A are B. There are two statements here. Now please note this term. It is a proposition. Both are proposition, both are statements. Okay, both are premises. Please try to understand and listen very carefully. Please concentrate. Once again, I am requesting your kind attention. This chapter is not a full practical chapter. Lot of things to understand first. Lot of theory, lot of rules. Then only we shall be able to attempt the problems. Okay, it's not like the earlier chapters on logical reasoning. So, let us see this statement, all A are B and no A are B. Both are propositions, both are statements. Okay, now since if a statement starts with the word all, okay, or if it starts with the word no, then please note that these type of propositions are known as universal propositions. So please note that these type of propositions are known as universal. Okay? So please keep a note of this proposition. It is called universal. Okay? Universal proposition. So we have seen what is the meaning of syllogism. We have seen what is statement, also called proposition, also called premise. We have looked at the transitive nature. Then we have seen that the rules, two rules, I told you two rules. If P then Q, that rule, and the second one, if A equal to B, so on. So we have seen the rules, syllogism, statement, what is proposition, what is transitive, the two rules, and now we look at the types of proposition, and the first one we take is universal. So universal proposition, please note universal proposition means whenever the statement or the sentence starts with all or no, it is called universal proposition. So there are two types of proposition, universal proposition and particular proposition. The first one is universal. Why universal? All means everybody. All means inclusive. And no means nobody. So the first one includes everybody and the second one excludes everybody. All A are B. That means every A is B. All means everybody. No means nobody. No means none. Okay? So all A are B. No A are B. Two propositions, two statements. These are called universal proposition. So please keep a note of universal proposition. The next, the next statement or the next type of proposition we are going to study is what is called particular proposition. Now here, if I write, say, instead of all, if I write some A are B, and if here I write some A are not B, two statements, some A are B. Example, some science graduates are chartered accountants. Some science graduates are chartered accountants. Every chartered accountant did not have a commerce background. Okay, so some science graduates are chartered accountants. This can be a statement. So some A are B. And here I have written some A are not B. So I can write that some art students are not chartered accountants. There are some art students, say literature students who are not chartered accountants. So some A are B, some A are not B. Whenever you have a statement which starts with the word some, okay, this is called particular proposition. So I will request you to keep a note of this particular proposition. This is particular. Why particular? Because I am specifying that not everybody but few, some, a part, a portion, not everybody. It is not universal. It is for some people. Right? For example, I can always say, like I took the example, all A are B. So I can write that, all chartered accountants are experts in accounts. All A are B. Some A are B. An example. Some chartered accountants practice law. Some A are B. Okay? So this is an example of two types of proposition. The first proposition is called the universal proposition and the second one is called particular proposition. So I am writing particular proposition. So whenever you have the word some, whenever you have the word few, some, it is a particular proposition, and whenever you have the word all or no, that means it includes everybody or it excludes everybody. Therefore, that is a universal proposition. Okay. So now let's take some more examples. Okay. I hope you are following and we are noting the important points so that this also helps you in keeping a track of the areas we are covering. Right? Let's go slow. Let's understand. Syllogism. We have seen what is statement. We have seen the statement is also called proposition or premise. There are two statements and it is followed by one conclusion. The entire process of arriving at a conclusion based on logic, based on argument is known as syllogism. Right? And we have seen there are two rules of syllogism which I explained, and then we saw that syllogism also has two types of proposition. The first is universal proposition and the second is particular proposition. Is clear? Okay. Let's proceed. I hope it's clear to you. Let's proceed. Okay. Let's take an example. Okay. So I'm rubbing this part and let us take an example of syllogism again. Well, let's see. You have to now find the conclusion. I'll give you some statements. Okay. Let me take this. All fruits are vegetables. I'm writing. All fruits are vegetables. Okay. Apple is a fruit. Apple is a fruit. So statement 1 is given, statement 2 is given. what will be the conclusion? So the first statement you can see is given in front of you, that all fruits are vegetables. So this is of the form I was explaining a little while back. All A are B, right? You must have noted it. All A are B, universal proposition, and I give another example, some A are B. So here, all fruits are vegetables, all A are B. And then I'm writing apple is a fruit. So, what is the conclusion? What will be the conclusion? All fruits are vegetables. Apple is a type of fruit. So if all fruits are vegetables and apple is a type of fruit, therefore, what? Apple is also a vegetable. So the conclusion will be that apple is a vegetable. This is like a conclusion. Okay. This is an example. Let's take another example. Then you can see that these two are the first two sentences are nothing but statements. They are also known as premises and they are also known as proposition. Just one more term, my dear students, please keep a note. The first sentence which you see, whenever in the exam, see in the exam you will be given statements like this proposition. You have to find the conclusion. You have to select whether the given conclusion is correct or not. Multiple choice will be given, 4 or 5 options will be given, 4 options. You have to select the right option. Okay, now, so you will be dealing with number of statements, you will be dealing with number of propositions. So please note the type of proposition. All fruits are vegetables, apple is a fruit, therefore apple is a vegetable. This is a conclusion and these two are premises or proposition. Now the first sentence is always called the major premise. The major premise. So please note major and minor, it's called major premise. The second sentence is known as the minor premise. Minor premise. The first is called the major premise, the major sentence, the major proposition, and the second sentence is called the minor premise or the minor proposition. So we are dealing with 2 propositions followed by 1 conclusion, and we are dealing with 2 types of propositions, universal proposition, and we have seen what is particular proposition. Correct? So when a sentence starts with like this, all fruits are vegetables, this means it is a universal proposition. If I say that some commerce students take up CA, some commerce students take up CA, it is a statement? Yes? Yes, it is a statement. Is it a proposition? Yes, it is a proposition. Is it a premise? Yes, it is a premise. Is it a universal premise? The statement was, some commerce students take up CA. Is it a universal proposition? No. It is a particular proposition. Okay? If I say, all CA students need to do articleship. All CA students need to do articleship. Is it a proposition? Yes. Can I call it a statement? Yes. Can I call it a premise? Yes. All CA students need to do articleship. Is it a universal proposition? Yes. Because here the word is all. Everybody. Everybody is included. No student is excluded. I hope you get it. Right. So, this is what we call major and minor. So let's see some more examples. Okay. I request you to keep writing these examples. So we saw examples of, like I said, that if P then Q, right? If COVID expands further, more people get contracted, then it will result in more deaths. If more deaths, then lockdown can get extended. So if P, then Q. If Q, then R. So the conclusion is, if P, then R. Similarly, I explained if A is equal to B, and if B is equal to C, then the conclusion is what? A is equal to C. A equal to B, B equal to C, so A is equal to C. This property is called transitive property. Transitive property. Right? I hope you're following. Okay. Now let us see the next example. Okay. The statement number 1. Okay, let's write this first statement. Statement number 1. All athletes work out in the gym. All athletes work out in the gym. All athletes work out in the gym. Statement number 1. Statement number 2, S2. Okay, statement number 2. Okay, so all athletes work out in the gym. Statement number 2. Vicky is an athlete. So what will be the conclusion? Conclusion C is Vicky works out in the gym. So please see the first example here, which you see here. All athletes work out in the gym. Vicky is an athlete. Vicky works out in the gym. So the first one is the major premise or the major statement. The second sentence is the minor premise or the minor statement. Vicky is an athlete. And we have the conclusion, since all athletes, so the universal proposition. All athletes work out in the gym and Vicky is an athlete. That means Vicky is a subset. All athletes. If you think of this as a set, you remember Venn diagram and set we did? So if I say all athletes is set A and Vicky is an athlete, so I can write that Vicky is a subset of A. You remember the concept of subset and superset. Okay? So you see the knowledge we gained in set theory has a direct application in syllogism, and therefore it's a very interesting subject, of course, and definitely scoring also. But the only point is you need to understand many concepts which we are now discussing one by one. I'm sure you are keeping a note of each of them. Many examples I'm sharing. Please keep a note of all of them. These are your study notes, and along with the study materials, once you go through it at the end of the session, I'm very confident that all of you will be able to do well and you will be getting all answers correct, whatever question is given to you. Okay? So here we have major premise, minor premise, and this is the conclusion. Okay. Similarly, if I say that another example of syllogism, statement 1, okay, I'll just rub the first part. Okay. So we have the first statement. Say, I write that all children eat chocolate. All children eat chocolate. Okay. Then say, for example, Rima is a child. So the conclusion is, therefore, Rima eats chocolate. Therefore, Rima eats chocolate. Okay? So this is another example of statement, and now you can see that all children eat chocolate. This is a universal proposition because I have used the word all. If I write no children eat chocolate, which is not true of course, but if I write no children eat chocolate, that no children eat chocolate is also a universal proposition. Okay? If I say that no student loves studying, nobody loves to study. Study is like a burden on us. No student loves to study. Okay, this is also universal proposition. Okay, fine. Now, we will look at some more examples, but before that, now we shall see there are 4 parts of a proposition. Now we shall see the type of parts, the 4 parts. So I'm writing here the 4 parts of a proposition. Parts of proposition. Okay. Say, let me take the example. All children eat chocolate. Fine, let's keep this example. All children eat chocolate. Please note very carefully, dear students, 4 new words you will learn now. It is all given in the study material, but I'm just explaining, following the study material, but I'm using some of my own examples. Now, all children eat chocolate. Now the word all or the word none, whatever you write here, or if I write some children eat chocolate, the first word is known as quantifier. So please note there are 4 parts. The first word, this word is called quantifier. Quantifier. Because it quantifies how many. It gives you the quantity, how many. So now we are breaking down a proposition to understand what are the different parts of a proposition. And I am taking this simple example. All children eat chocolate, and we are going to understand the 4 parts of a proposition. Okay? All children eat chocolate. All CS students must study hard. All CS students must do articleship seriously. All CS students, all CA foundation students needs to understand mathematics. So these are examples of universal proposition. And since they are starting with the word all, if I say some CS students also study, law, for example. Some CS students. Here the word some. So the first sentence, the first word of the sentence, it can be all, it can be none, it can be some. No CS student, I'm giving an example, no CS student, misuses time. Let me take it this way. No CS student misuses time. No CS student is lazy. Here the word no is also known as quantifier. If I write few CS students also study MBA, appear for MBA. Few, the word few, this is also a quantifier. So the first word of any proposition is the sentence. The first word of the sentence is called quantifier. It can be all, it can be some, it can be few, it can be none. Okay, it is called quantifier. First word. Now, in grammar, long back in your school, you learned about subject and predicate. Okay, so here, the word children is the subject. The word children is called the subject. All children eat. What do they eat? They eat chocolate. So the word chocolate becomes the predicate. So I am writing the word predicate. So the word chocolate is called predicate. Predicate. Please note it. All children eat chocolate. So all is called the quantifier. Children is called the subject. Chocolate is called the predicate. And what you see here is eat. It's a verb. So this is called the copula, C-O-P-U-L-A. Okay. If I write another, sentence here, let me write, all children eat chocolate. This is the quantifier. Okay. So this is the quantifier. I am writing another example, another statement. All CS students are hard-working. All CS students are hard-working. All CS students are hard-working. It's a statement, it's a proposition, you can call it a premise. All CS students are hard-working. Now, which one is the quantifier? Quantifier is this one. I am writing Q, quantifier. All. If I write some CS students are not serious. Some CS students are not serious. The word some is a quantifier. So the first is quantifier. Please note. Quantifier. Next is, who is the subject? Who am I talking about? I'm talking about CA students. So CA students, this becomes the subject S. This is the subject. Now my question is, CA students are what? Question mark. If I ask you, CA students are what? What do I want to say about CA students? I want to say that CA students are hardworking. So the word hardworking is the predicate. Okay? So the word hardworking is the predicate P. And the word R, this R, this is called copula. C-O-P-U-L-A. C. So now I think you are clear. All children eat chocolate. All is the quantifier. Children is the subject. Chocolate is the predicate. Eat is the copula. Second example, all CA students are hardworking. All CA students are hardworking. Quantifier is the word all. CA students is the subject. R is the copula. Hardworking is the predicate. Okay. I think you have understood this. Quantifier, subject, copula and predicate. I'm sure it's clear. Okay. So we have looked at syllogism till now. Almost 45 minutes. Let's quickly wrap up what we have learned so far. What is syllogism? Greek word. What does it deal with? It deals with statements. Statements. What is the other name of statements? Well, other name of statement is proposition or premise. Please look at the notes which you have taken down and see whether you are following. Okay? Whether you are following. So, syllogism, give a tick if you are following. Statement, it's a statement, it deals with statements, it deals with reasoning, it deals with arguments, and the objective is to arrive at a conclusion. Fine? So that is syllogism. Fine, syllogism deals with statements and conclusion. Yes. Well, then we saw the rules. If A equal to B and B equal to C, then A will be equal to C. Okay? This is called transitive property. Transitive property, I think you got it correct. Next we saw the rules. If P, then Q. If Q, then R. So the conclusion is, if P, then R. Then we saw what is universal proposition. If I say all CA students are hardworking, all CA students are studious, all is a universal proposition. If I say no CA student is lazy, no is a universal proposition. Okay? Then we saw what is particular proposition. Some CA students are not serious. Some is a particular proposition. This sentence, some CA students are not serious. This is a particular proposition. Okay? Then we have seen what is a major premise. The first sentence is a major premise and the second sentence is called the minor premise. And then we have seen the four parts of a proposition. That is, first is quantifier, then you have the subject, then you have the copula, and fourth is you have the predicate. Okay? So I hope it's clear so far. Now let us see another example. We will use Venn diagram now. You will see the interesting part. Right. So I'm rubbing these statements. I think now you know. If I suddenly tell you that what is the copula, or if I suddenly tell you what is the subject, you can understand. Fine. Yeah, we have done this premise, proposition, argument we have discussed. Okay. Now I am giving an example. Premises. Fine. Let me take this. Two statements. Statement 1, or I'll use the word proposition now. So I'll use the word proposition. Okay, proposition. So P1. Proposition 1 is all A's are B. All A are B. And proposition 2 is all B are C. All B are C. Okay? All A are B. All B are C. Now, exam question. Get ready. This is like an exam question. Okay? So, two statements are given. All A are B and the second proposition is all B are C. Now the conclusion I am giving, you have to say whether which is correct or not. So conclusion number 1, C1. Some B are A. And the second conclusion is all A are C. All A are C. I hope you can read this 4 sentences. It's visible to you. You can see it clearly. The first statement is all A are B. And the second statement is all B are C. The first conclusion is some B are A. And the second conclusion is all A are C. Like an exam question, many of you have seen. The question is 4 options are given. Okay, I'm writing option, okay, I'll write here. Okay, I'll write here. You have to take the right option. I'm taking an easy one. Option number 1, A is A, B, C, D. So, this is conclusion 1 and conclusion 2. So, option A, only 1 is correct. Option B, only 2 is correct. Option C, 1 and 2 are correct. Option number D, none is correct. Please check. Okay, so 2 statements are given. All A are B and all B are C. The conclusions are some B are A and all A are C. Option is whether the first one is correct only. Option B is only 2 is correct. Option C is both of them are correct. Option D, none of them are correct. 5 seconds. Okay. 5 seconds. Let's see. Okay. So, I'll check your responses, but for the time being, let's continue. You can see, logically of course, we have discussed if A equal to B and if B equal to C, then A is equal to C. That means it is clearly true that number 2 is correct. Now number 1, all A are B. All A are B. Can I say that some B are A? What do you think? Some of you might think, some of you might tell me, yes sir, we can say. Some of you are thinking, is it correct? So let us, use, since all of you are so knowledgeable and highly interested in mathematics, right, after our sessions, why not use Venn diagram? What do you suggest? Let's see Venn diagram and let's draw a Venn diagram and see whether this logic is true. I think all A are C, you are all clear with this. No doubts. Let's see number 1, conclusion number 1, whether it is true. So I'm drawing a Venn diagram. Now you have seen the question says all A are B. So I'm drawing like this. Okay. So please see, the first one is A. The second circle is B and the biggest circle is C. So the question is all A are B. That means you see this A which I am now shading is part of B. So all A are B. Please see carefully. Okay. The next one, all B are C. Okay. So B, what I am doing, I am using this cross mark. Cross mark. All B is also part of C. So all B are C. Yes, you can say that. Now, can I say some B are A? In other words, a part of B, this part, is also A. So if all A are B and if all B are C, then you can see from the Venn diagram that some B are A. So this proposition is also true Therefore, the answer to this question, it's an exam question. It came in the CA foundation exam. So I'm taking a realistic, real life exam question. So the answer will be option C. Both the conclusions are valid conclusions. Okay. So this is how we use Venn diagram for reasoning. I'm taking two examples. This was the first example, of course, from the exam. Now I'm taking another exam question and we shall analyze and we will solve. Okay. So let us rub this one and let us look at the proposition. So now the proposition is a bit different. Instead of all, I will write some A are B. Some A are B, and the second is some B's are C. Some B are A, and the second is some B are C. The conclusions, you need to see the conclusions. We shall have some conclusions. Conclusion number 1 is some B are A. Some B are A. The second conclusion is some C are B. Some C are B. And conclusion 3, the third conclusion is some A are C. Please see the question carefully. The options are A, B, C, D. All are correct. Option B, none are correct. Option C, 1 and 2 are correct. Option D, 2 and 3 are correct. Exam question. Please concentrate and see. Some A are B, some B are C. These are the two propositions. Dear students, now I am sure it's clear. The word some means it is a particular proposition. It is not a universal proposition, but it is a particular proposition. Some A are B, some B are C. Fine. And we have seen the conclusions are some B are A, some C are B, and some A are C. The 4 options given to you is whether all is correct, all 3 are correct, none is correct. Option C is only 1 and 2 are correct. Option D is only 2 and 3 are correct. Well, last one was easier. Okay, all A are B, all B are C. But now it is some A are B and some B are C. Well, I think, what do you say? Let's draw a Venn diagram. I think that is better. So carefully let us draw a Venn diagram. In the last example, all A was within B. Okay? And all B was within C. Okay? So I can put it in this way. Well, like this. Like this. This is A. The cap of, you see, I have this marker, this whiteboard marker, the cap. This is A. Question was all A are B. So all A and my hand is B. So all A is within B. You remember the diagram? The diagram was like this. A is here, B is the bigger one, and C is the biggest one. So I am drawing like this. This is A. This is my hand. This is B. This is A. This is B. All A within B. Okay? And now this is C. So now I cover my hand with this piece of cloth. So now you have like this. C is the biggest one. C is the biggest one. If I open C, I will have B. And if I open B, I will get A. A, B, C. This was the last example. But now in this example, some A are B, some B are C. And so the conclusion is this. So let us draw the Venn diagram. I hope you are following. It's clear so far? Okay. So this time the Venn diagram is a bit different, So some A are B, some B are C. So it is going to be like this. A, B, and some B are C. So it's like this, C. So the first condition says, or the first proposition says, some A are B. So some of the A is B. Fine. Some B are C. Some of the B is C. So now let us see which conclusion is correct. Exam question. In the exam also you may have to draw Venn diagram, or you may also use rules of syllogism, which we are going to take up after this. Okay, so A, B, C. Now here, some B are A. Is it correct? Some A are B. Part of A is part of B. So can I say some of the B are A? Some part of B is also part of A. From the Venn diagram, I think you agree that this is correct. So the first statement is correct. Some B are A is correct. Some B are C. Conclusion is some C are B. Some part of C is also part of B. Some portion of C, is it also a part of B? From the Venn diagram, yes. This part of C is also a part of B. So second is also correct. Now can I say some A is also C? What do you think? From the Venn diagram, can I say that part of A is also part of C? No, I cannot say that. They are, A and C are not connected. They are known as disjoint. They are disjoint sets. So they have no portion in common. They are disjoint, not connected, no common part. Therefore, A and C are having no common area. So the third, conclusion, some A are C, this is not correct. Therefore, the answer is, out of the four options, option C is the correct answer. Only 1 and 2, conclusion 1 and 2 are correct. Conclusion 3 is not correct. Okay, I am taking another example. I hope you are following it. This is an additional example outside the study material. My own example, I am taking another example. Okay, I hope you are getting the interest, and you can see, the connection between Venn diagram and syllogism. Now we shall take another example. Okay, so parts of a proposition we have done, and we have taken two examples of using Venn diagram. So we note it, right? And now we take two more examples. And we will try and use Venn diagram also. The first proposition, is P1, P2. P1 and P2, the first proposition is, some professors wear glasses. Okay? Some professors, I'm writing prof, some professors wear glasses. Okay? The second, proposition is, Mr. Ravi wears glasses. Okay? So the conclusion is, you have to say whether the conclusion is correct or not. The conclusion is, Mr. Ravi is a professor. Mr. Ravi is a professor. Is it correct? So these are exam questions. Typical exam questions. Please spend a minute and see. Okay. Some professors wear glasses. Okay. I'll open my glass. Okay. Next is Mr. Ravi wears glasses. So can you have the conclusion, Mr. Ravi is a professor? Just check. Well, let me try to draw the Venn diagram and see whether this is correct. Okay, now I'll first draw, there will be two sets, two sets. Okay, two sets. The first set is the set of glass. Some professors wear glasses. Okay, so the first one says professor. This is professor. The set of professor P. Okay, P. And this one is glass. So I'm drawing like this, glass. Okay, glass. Okay, G. I'm drawing a glass. Spectacles. Okay, fine. So we have a set of professors P and we have a set G, which is people who wear glasses. Okay, people who wear glasses. So can you say that in fact this set is basically glasses means of course with reference to Mr. Ram also. Okay, with reference to Mr. Ram. Mr. Ravi. So can you say that Mr. Ravi necessarily is a professor? Okay. It's not established. It's not clear. In the sense it is not conclusive. Some professors wear glasses. Had it been all professors wear glasses, it would have maybe different. But here the idea is some professors wear glasses. Mr. Ravi wears glasses. Therefore, Mr. Ravi is a professor. No, it does not follow naturally. Why? From the Venn diagram also it is not coming. Mr. Ravi could be here. Anywhere other than this part. Mr. Ravi may be on this side. He is a glass wearer. He wears glasses. Fine. But he may be here. He may be here. He may be here. He may be here. He necessarily may not be here. This shaded part. There is no necessity that Mr. Ravi has to be here. He may be here. So, conclusively, you cannot come to the inference that Mr. Ravi is a professor. You cannot. So, you can see some professors wear glasses. That means there are some professors who do not wear glasses also. And Mr. Ravi wears glasses. So, it is not necessary that he is a professor because there are some professors who do not wear glasses. I hope it's clear. And this is the beauty of syllogism. Okay. I'll take one more example using Venn diagram. Right? So you can, this is an important part of our syllabus in syllogism. Okay. The more you draw, the more clarity you get. Fine. I'll take two other examples and then we shall move to the rules and we will solve the problems. Okay. I'm giving an example here. Statement and conclusion. We will see whether it's correct or not. The statement is statement 1, proposition 1. All humans are selfish. Well, I'm not judging. There are many people who are not selfish. I'm not, please don't take it from a judgment perspective. It's only a statement. All humans are selfish. Okay. Next, this is the major, premise or the major proposition. Now I'm taking the minor premise or the minor proposition. The minor proposition is Pankaj is a human. And the conclusion is Pankaj is selfish. All humans are selfish. Major proposition. Please also note all humans are selfish means it starts with the word all, which means it's a universal proposition or universal. All humans are selfish. Pankaj is a human and the conclusion C is Pankaj is selfish. Is it valid? Let's draw. Okay. So there are three parts to it. Pankaj is one set, human is another set, selfish is another set. Three sets we will draw. First is Pankaj. So this is Pankaj. Pankaj. Pankaj is a human. So Pankaj falls within this particular set. And this is human. Okay? And it is given that all humans are selfish. So I draw the biggest set and this is the set of selfish. Okay, selfish. So can we now say that Pankaj is selfish? All humans are selfish. All humans are selfish. So this human, this box, is within the biggest circle that is selfish. Pankaj is a human. Pankaj belongs to the human set. So definitely Pankaj also belongs to the selfish set. Therefore, Pankaj is selfish. Yes, it is correct. It is valid. Also, it is valid not only through logic, not only through syllogism, but also through Venn diagram. The Venn-Euler diagram. It is also established through the Venn diagram. So dear students, I hope you are following. It is clear to you, right? So we are analyzing each and every step. Now we will take the last one, invalid logic. Invalid. So let me just note it down. We have taken two examples of valid and invalid. Invalid logic using Venn. Okay. Now we will draw some different picture, and it will be a different Venn diagram, and different proposition is given. Okay. So you can see that ultimately we are dealing basically with statements and conclusions. So two statements followed by two conclusions. It could be multiple conclusions, 3 or 4, and you need to analyze and reason, use your common sense, use your logical reasoning power, and establish, provide your opinion whether the conclusion is valid or not. That is what you will get in the exam. Now we take two premises and we take one conclusion. Okay. The first is all snakes are cold-blooded. All snakes are cold-blooded. First premise, please note it starts with all, so it is a universal premise, universal proposition. It's a major premise. Next one is all snails are also cold-blooded. All snails. So all snail are cold-blooded. So the conclusion we are drawing is all snails are snakes. All snails are snakes. Is it correct? Please check. So all snakes are cold-blooded, all snails are cold-blooded. So can we jump to the conclusion that all snails are snakes? Let's draw the Venn diagram. So here again we'll have to draw three sets. One is for the snails, one is for the snake, the snail, and one is for the cold-blooded creatures. Okay, so let's see. Yes, first is snail, S-N-A-I-L. The other is for the snakes. And the biggest one is for the cold-blooded. Okay, cold-blooded. So, let's see whether the Venn diagram is correct. All snakes are cold-blooded. Yes, snakes. They fall within cold-blooded. Correct. All snails are cold-blooded. All snails also fall within cold-blooded. But can we say all snails are snakes? Are they same? No. Do they overlap? No. So, it is an invalid conclusion. The conclusion is not right. Okay? Premises are fine. Yes, snakes are cold-blooded, snails are cold-blooded, but does not mean, it does not follow. One cannot conclude that because snails are cold-blooded and because snakes are also cold-blooded, we cannot conclude necessarily that snails are snakes. Okay, all snails are snakes. I hope it's clear. So we saw one valid conclusion and we saw one invalid conclusion. We have also seen the different parts of a proposition, that is quantifier. Then we saw, you remember, the subject, then the copula, and then we saw the predicate. So all snails are cold-blooded. Let's quickly see. Which one is the quantifier? All is the quantifier. Which one is the subject? Snakes is the subject. Which one is the copula? R is the copula. And which one is the predicate? Cold-blooded is the predicate. Fine. Okay, now we have types of proposition. The first one is categorical proposition. We'll just write categories, 3 types of proposition. Okay, so let me wrap it up and we discuss the next point, 3 types of proposition. Okay. So you can see how Venn diagram helps us in arriving at the right conclusion. Especially I am taking exam questions. All these are exam questions. You can see whether Venn diagram is so useful, right? Now the 3 types of proposition. First is what we call the categorical proposition. Please keep a note of it. Categorical proposition. So A is categorical. B is hypothetical. And the third one, so you have categorical proposition, then you have hypothetical, and the third is disjunctive. Disjunctive proposition. Disjunctive. Disjunctive. So what is categorical? Categorical means, if I say categorically, I am saying that you must study hard. Categorically means with 100%, with every intention, all intention. If I make a categorical statement that yes, CA Foundation exam needs a mix of time management, speed and accuracy. That means I am saying from my heart, 100%. I'm 100% serious about it. Categorical statement. So categorical proposition is like extreme. That means I mean to say 100% or I mean to say 0%. Categorically I am saying if you don't study hard, you will fail in the exam. That means what? You have to study hard to pass the exam. Okay, so categorical statement. So categorical statement, that means it is also called, unconditional. I am not giving any condition. I am just saying if you don't study hard, you fail. If I say you need to pass, you need to study hard in order to pass. Okay, similarly if I say, that means categorical is like this. If I say that all CA students are hardworking. Okay, all CA students are hardworking. It is a type of categorical proposition, unconditional. All CA students are hardworking. Okay, all CA students are hardworking, categorical proposition. The next one is hypothetical proposition, where we have hypothesis. Hypothetical means condition. So if I say, I'm writing, if I study hard, I will pass CA Foundation exam. If I study hard, I will pass CA Foundation exam. This is a hypothetical proposition. Another example, if it rains today, incidentally today it's overcast in the place where I stay. This part of the country is overcast, it's raining heavily. Like Mumbai also is raining heavily. So I can give an example of a hypothetical proposition. If I need to go out today, I will carry an umbrella. If I need to go out, I will carry an umbrella. So this is a hypothetical proposition. Hypothetical proposition. And the first one is categorical, no condition. All CA students need to be serious. All CA students need to be hardworking. This is unconditional. Okay? No CA student should be lazy. No professional should be backdated. These are unconditional. No human should be narrow-minded. Unconditional. Okay? So these are examples of categorical. Hypothetical is hypothesis. A particular circumstances. It's based on a condition, circumstance, situation. If it rains, I will carry an umbrella. If I go out, I will wear a mask. If I come back to my office, I will first sanitize my hands. Conditional or situational, these are called hypothetical proposition. And the last one, of course, is disjunctive proposition. So this disjunctive actually means alternate, two types. Okay, so I can give an example like this, that either he is loyal or he is sincere, So disjunctive, two types, alternate. So there are three categories of proposition. So three types of proposition we have done. First is categorical, where there is no condition. Second, of course, is hypothetical, and the third is disjunctive. I think it's clear to you. Now we go on to the last rules. The most important things are the rules. So we go into the rules and the four types of proposition. Okay. So categorical, I think you understand. We have concluded. We have also discussed a lot about the types of proposition: universal proposition, particular proposition, the four parts of a proposition, that is subject, subject, copula, and predicate. We also saw different types of invalid proposition through Venn diagrams. Okay, and I think 4 cases we have seen, altogether 4 cases. Then we have seen the 3 types of proposition. That is, we have, first is the categorical, then you have the hypothetical, and third is the disjunctive. Now we go into the last part, that is the relations in syllogism. After this, we shall start solving the problems. We shall have enough knowledge to start solving the problems. Okay, so I'm rubbing this part, and now we note the rules of syllogism. Okay. Okay. So please create a table. You have your pen and paper. You can just, or some of you may be learning online, so with a laptop. So just open an Excel file and, if possible, create a table. I'll draw the table. Okay. So it's like a format. We'll draw. Format or a table. Very, very important parts. Now, please listen very carefully, and I think I'm speaking in an optimum, manner, not too slow, not too fast. If I go fast, many people will not understand. So it's better to go a little slow the way I'm going, and make sure that all of you understand, this being the last chapter and of logical reasoning. So, and once we complete this part, of course, we'll start taking the questions and solving the questions of exercise 13A. Okay, so now I'm taking a very simple, proposition. Okay, all students are serious. All students are serious. All students are serious. Another proposition, no student is serious. Okay. The third proposition is, some students are serious. Some students are serious. And the fourth proposition is, some students are not serious. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Please have a look at the 4 propositions. Okay, now we shall analyze. And students are serious. Type is what? Universal. Universal. Because the word is all. Okay? All students are serious. Please see the copula. Copula is are. Are means what? Positive. I am. You are. Okay? So it's positive. Or we say affirmative. So this is called A-type. A-type proposition. This is called A-type proposition. That means universal affirmative type. Universal affirmative type. Okay? So we are writing the 4 types. A, E, I, and O. So this is called A type, universal affirmative. Universal affirmative, that means it is universal and positive. Why positive? Because the word is copula is R. If I say Shyam is hardworking, it is a positive. That means he actually is hardworking. In reality, he works hard. But why am I teaching? Nobody is serious. Why am I going to office? None of my staff are serious. You see, negative emotion. Why am I shouting after you? You are not serious. Negative emotion. So it is negative. It is universal and negative. So I will write in bracket universal and negative. Okay? And this type of proposition for our solution, for exam purposes, please note, this is called E type. E type. It's like blood groups, A, B, O, B, positive, negative. So like that, remember, A, E will only have 4 groups. A, E, I and O. Okay. So this is alpha and this is E. E is echo. Okay, phonetically. Alpha and echo. A, E. Now I come to the third one. Some students are serious. Some students are serious. Oh, fine. Some students are serious. So it's, is it a universal proposition? No. It starts with the word some. Some means particular. And is it positive? Yes, it is positive. So I go to a class and I find, okay, at least out of 40, out of 40, at least 10 people are serious. So some are serious. So it gives me some energy. It gives me some motivation. I get some encouragement that yes, some people are serious. Some people are listening to me. Some people are asking questions. Some people are sending positive feedback. Oh, good. So some students are serious. This is particular, not universal, particular and positive. So I'm writing in bracket P and positive. This type of propositions is known as I type. I. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I type proposition. Okay, so we have, I'm sure it's clear now, universal and positive, that is universal and affirmative if you call it. It is basically shown by A type. Universal negative is E type. Then we have particular as well as positive, it is I type. And the last is some students are not serious. Oh, that's bad luck. Oh, I'm explaining so well. I'm giving so much of my time. Oh, but some students are not serious. So I get a negative feeling, negative emotion. So it is a negative. It is not affirmative, but negative. So some students are not serious. So this is also particular because it starts with some, but it is negative. So P and negative, particular and negative. This type of propositions, dear students, it is known as O type. Okay, O. So these are the 4 types of propositions. So A, E, I and O. Please note it. Please note it down. So we have looked at each of them and we also analyzed their character, their types. And I have taken a very simple proposition. All students are serious. Okay? Please keep a note of it. This is a very important format. So you can see basically it is 4 columns. Column number 1, column number 2, column number 3 and column number 4. Okay, so column number 1 you can write students are serious. All students are serious. Column number 2 is A type. Column number B is column number 3 is whether they are universal or particular. Column number 4 is whether positive or negative. Okay, whether positive, that is affirmative, or whether they are negative. Okay, so this is basically the relations of the 4 types of relations you have, when it comes to the propositions. Okay, now let us go into the rules of propositions, very important. And let's take the rules. Before that, of course, we'll go into inference. Okay. So this is important, A, E, I and O. Please keep a note of it because I'll come back to it after 5 minutes and we will take it further. Now I will take a different part of the chapter, that is the types of inference. Let's understand the types of inference and then we shall move on to the continuation of these rules. Types of inference will just take 2-3 minutes to understand. Types of inference, is we have two types of inference. Inference is what? Inference, okay? Let me write here. Inference. Inference means what? Inference means conclusion. Inference. What do you have seen this very famous, TV show, which is one of the oldest in India, CID. ACB Pradyuman comes like this. Something is wrong. And you must have seen another character in that famous, soap, that famous TV serial, Dr. Salunke, who is a forensic doctor. So, and ACP comes and asks Dr. Salunke that what is your inference? That means what is your conclusion? This is a dead body. This is the murder weapon. So, how did the person die? Who is the murderer? Is he right-handed or left-handed? You must have seen that. Crime serials. So inference means conclusion. Okay, inference means conclusion. Now, there are two types of inferences. One is called immediate inference. Immediate. And the other is called mediate. Immediate and mediate. Immediate and mediate inference. Now, if I say that all students are sincere, okay, all students are sincere. Okay, so first is we'll take immediate. Immediate actually means when you have one observation, one proposition, and you need to conclude on that. One proposition. Mediate means when you have two propositions. Please listen carefully. So we are looking at inference. The word inference means conclusion. Conclusion. Okay, please keep a note of all this. We are doing a lot of things today. Inference. Two types. I'm just keeping a note here. A lot of things we are discussing. Inference, we have immediate and we have mediate. Inference means conclusion. Okay? The word inference means conclusion. And we have two types of conclusions, immediate conclusions and mediate conclusions. Immediate conclusion means when you have to conclude based on one proposition, one statement, one sentence. So if I say all CA students are sincere, okay, one sentence. So a conclusion can be that if all CA students are sincere, I can conclude that yes, some CA students are sincere. Since all of them are sincere, I can say some are sincere. Conclusion. Okay, so here you see the conclusion is drawn from one proposition or from one statement. We have only one statement. All CA students are sincere. So we draw conclusion from one proposition. It is called immediate. And mediate means when there are two sentences or two propositions and we draw a conclusion based on the two propositions. Now, say I write like this, hypothetical, okay. I write all C, right here, all C are B, all C are D. All C are D and I write all D are B. All C are D, this is number one, statement number one. Statement number two is all D are B. Once again, statement number one is all C are D. And statement two is all D are B. Okay. So the conclusion is what? All C are D, all D are B. So the conclusion is C. Conclusion is all C are B. So if I say, for example, you have C and D, I'll just give some words. Say all cats are dogs. All cats are dogs. And I write all dogs are black. all cats are dogs and all dogs are black. All cats are dogs and all dogs are black. So the conclusion is all cats are black. Okay, so this is a mediate conclusion. Mediate. Why? Because you need two statements. Statement number one was all cats are dogs. And statement number two was all dogs are black. So please note that there are two types of inferences. One is, of course, we have immediate inference, and the other is mediate. In case of immediate, we have one proposition. In case of mediate, we have to rely or we have to depend on two sentences, two statements, two proposition or two premises. Fine? And then we draw a conclusion. Right. Now we have to look at two further charts. A very important chart, and then we start solving the problems. Possibly it will take 5 minutes more to complete, and then we'll complete this part, of course, and then we start solving the questions. So I am rubbing this part. I'm sure you are clear with the types of four types: A type, E type, I type, and O type. You have noted this table, and you can see this chapter almost started at 2 sharp. It's 3:45, 1 hour 45 minutes going only into the discussion. We are yet to start with the examples. So you can see this is not such a direct, easy chapter like say direction test or like say blood relations. You need to create a foundation. You need to create a body of knowledge. You need to know so many things. Then only we can start the problems. But the problems will be simple problems. Once you understand the logic and the rules, it will be simple. Okay, now the rules are like this. Again, we draw a table, and I request you to keep a snapshot of this table. So, the rules are from A type for conclusions. We have to use this table. A type can be converted to I type. Second is E type can be converted to O type. I type. Okay, I type. No valid inference can be drawn. Similarly, if you take O type, no valid inference can be drawn. So please note this is for the inference part, immediate inference, if you need to draw immediate inference. Like I am giving an example, A type to I type. All boys are brave. All boys are brave. This is a A type. All boys are brave. A type. Why A type? Because it is all universal as well as it is positive. All boys are brave. Now, if you want to conclude, I can write some boys are brave. So it becomes an I type. Okay? From A to I. So please note this table. This is table number 1. Very, very important table. Kindly note. We will draw 3 tables like this. Okay? So A type to I type. Example is all boys are brave. So it will be converted to, for conclusion purpose, inference purpose, right? It will become I type, that is, some boys are brave. Okay, now we take E type. Okay, if I write no cars are buses, E type, no cars are buses. It is universal, no, and positive. No cars are buses. Okay, no cars are buses, universal. It becomes universal E type, because none we are writing. Negative, universal, and negative, none of them are buses. Okay, so it is negative but universal. Universal and positive is A. Universal and negative is E. It can be converted to O type. That means if I say no cars are buses, the conclusion will be some cars are not buses. It will become O type. Okay, now we take I type. I type means particular and positive. If I say some chairs are tables, now there is no valid conclusion from here. So a cross. Similarly, O, if I write that, if I say that some boys are not brave, some boys are not brave, no valid conclusion can be drawn from here. So this is the first table which you need to know. Okay? So the summary is, in case of inference, A type becomes I type, E type becomes O type, I type cannot be converted, O type cannot be converted. This is the first table. Now, the second table, table 2 I am writing. Table 2. Table 2 is like this. Direct conversion. So this was for inference. Inference. Immediate inference. Now for conversion. A type will be converted to A type. E type can be converted to E type. I type can be converted to I. O type cannot be converted. So please keep a note of this. This is conversion table. Conversion. So these two are very, very important. So let's give an example, some examples of conversion. How this conversion takes place. If I say all students are studious, all students are studious. I'm not writing this, please listen. Okay, because if I write sentences, the whole board is going to be full and the tables and all, we won't have space. So we have to listen and we apply. All students are studious. This is what type? All students are studious. We are looking at conversion now. Okay? All students are studious. Okay? What will happen? All students are studious. We can convert this into some students are studious. Okay? Some students are studious. So it can be converted into E type also. A to E can be done. Okay? A to E can be done. Some students, all students are studious. It can be converted to some students are studious. Okay? So we can give an example of this. A to E. A type to E type. Okay, no student is serious. No student is serious. No student is serious. This is the E type. E type. No student is serious. It is a particular, universal and it is negative. No student is serious. Well, after conversion we can write no serious is student. No student is serious. It can be converted like this. So like this, if I write no S is P, no S is P. After conversion, right, E to E conversion, it can be no P is S. No S is P will become no P is S. So this is E type. Right? Now if I write some S is P, so it is a I type. Some S is P. Okay, I'm writing this. Some S is P. Some S is P. Some is particular and positive. Particular and positive means it is a I type. It is I type. Please remember once again, see your notes. A, E, I and O. So positive and particular is I type. Positive and negative, your particular and negative, that gives you O type. So some S is P. The conversion will be again from I to I conversion. The I to I conversion will be some P is S. So the conclusion will be some P is S. Okay, so these two tables you need to memorize and you need to know. So from A, we can basically convert to I. From E, we can convert to O as well as we can convert to E. So please note, from E, we can get O as well as E type. From I, we can only get I type. From I, we can only get I type because this one, no inference can be drawn. And from O, the last one, no inference, no inference. O cannot be, no adjustment can be done with O type of proposition. So A type of proposition, once again, you can either convert it into I type or A to A. It is possible. Okay? E type is O and E. I type is only I type, and O type, no conversion is possible. Last one, the last table, I am just rubbing this part, table 3, the last important table, and then we start solving the problems. Okay, the last table is when two propositions are given, both are A type. The result is A type. So this is table 3. Table 3. Please take this very, very seriously and very, very carefully, because this will be your raw material, your main area to understand. And this, I'm sure it's getting clear to you because we have done the entire foundation. So many concepts we have cleared so that we can reach this level. So if the two propositions both are A type, the conclusion is A type. If one proposition is I type, the second is A type, then the result is I type. The third is, if one proposition is A type and the second is E type, then the result becomes O type. And the last one is one proposition is E type and the other is I type. The result is O type. So this is table 3. A plus A is A, I plus A is I, A plus E is O, or E plus A is O, whatever, and E plus I is also O. So these three tables are very, very important. Please note it. Okay, now we shall start solving questions. So A type, remember, it is, as I said, simple example. Okay, all men are, I took an example, all men are selfish. Okay, all men are selfish. Or let's take another example, something positive. All men are caring. All men are caring. All men are caring. A type. No man is caring. No man is caring. E type. Some men are caring. Some men are caring. I type. Some men are not caring. O type. 4 types of proposition. All men are caring. All women are caring. If I say, or all women are sincere. Well, A type. No woman is sincere. E type. Some women are sincere. I type. Some women are not sincere. O type. Okay? All students are professional. All students are professional. A type. No student is professional. E type. Some students are professional. I type. Some students are not professional. O type. So please be very careful about A, E, I and O, and therefore you can just close your eyes and you can just understand A plus A gives you A plus I gives you I, A plus E gives you O, and E plus I also gives you O type of conclusion. Now with this, dear friends, we now move into the examples and let's see. We take example 1 from the study material. Example 1. Okay? Please refer to it. I'm not writing because we need to refer to the rules. I keep this rules as it is and we take some of the examples. We have time but not much because we also need to complete today being the last session with you and on this particular area. And today the fact being that we are ending logical reasoning, I will take up many of the queries regarding blood relations and seating arrangements and some clarifications which has come from the Board of Studies. We need to extend some time, but let's quickly go to the examples and we'll solve few of them. Example 1, some boys are students, all students are engineers. Please see example 1. Some boys are students, and all students are engineers. So, applying this principle now, some boys are students, it is a I type. All students are engineers, it is a A type. Right? So, if you see, the conclusion is all engineers are students and some boys are engineers. So, from here you can understand A plus I means it has to be I. Okay? So, the conclusion is some boys are engineers, some boys are students, all students are engineers. So, if you combine them using I plus A equal to I, only one conclusion comes, and that is some boys are engineers. So, option B is correct. Right? I hope it's clear. The second one is, let's take example number 3. Okay? Example number 3 of the study material. Example 3. All A's are C's. All A are C. All D are C. Okay? All A are C. All D are C. So, all A are C. It is a A type. All D are C. This is also A type. A plus A gives me A. So, the conclusion is all A are C, all D are C. So, the conclusion is all D are C. This can be a valid conclusion. Now, if you see the options given, some D are not A. This is not a valid conclusion because A plus A will always give you A. One proposition is A type, second proposition is A type. It has to give you A. Okay? Therefore, the second conclusion which is given in the example 3, some D are not A. This is not a valid conclusion. All D's are C's. This is a valid conclusion. Therefore, option number A, only first conclusion is valid. I take number 4. All balls are bats. All bats are stumps. All balls are bats. All bats are stumps. All balls are bats is a A type. All bats are stumps. This is also universal positive. So A type. A plus A gives you A. So all balls are bats. All bats are stumps. That means what? It is of the first formula which I said. If A equal to B and if B equal to C, then A has to be equal to C. So here, what do you get? If all balls are bats, all bats are stumps. So the conclusion is all balls are stumps. Right? So this is example 4. Example 5. All professors are readers. All professors are writers. Two statements. All professors are readers. All professors are writers. So if you align them, right, using this conversion table, we are getting, just aligning them, we are getting all professors are readers. So we can say some readers are professors. All professors are readers. We can just realign them. Some readers are professors. And then we have all professors are writers. That is second proposition. So this is again, now if you see the type of proposition, one says all professors are writers. So it is a A type. Okay? It's a A type. It is a A type proposition. All professors are writers. A type. And then you are having the changed proposition. Some readers are professors. Some readers are professors is I type. Okay? So A plus I will give you I. So the conclusion will be some readers are writers. This is example 5. Okay. Now let us see number 6. Some mangoes are sweet. Example 6 of the study material. Some mangoes are sweet. All mangoes are fruit. Some mangoes are sweet. I type. All mangoes are fruit. A type. So if you convert, if you add them, I plus A gives you I. Okay, so the conclusion will be some sweets are fruits. It is of I type. The proposition is some mangoes are sweets, all mangoes are fruits. I and A. So you get the conclusion some sweets are fruits. Again, it is I type because I plus A gives you I. Okay. Now let us take number 8. Some caps are blue. Number 8. Some caps are blue and no clip is blue. Some caps are blue, no clip is blue. So if you convert them, it becomes no clip is blue and some blue are caps. Now some caps are blue. Some caps are blue. I can be converted to I. Some caps are blue I can write as some blue are caps. Alternate. Okay? Interchange. So it becomes some blue are caps and then you have no clip is blue. So if you add them, one is of the form some blue are caps. Some blue are caps means it is of the form I. No clip is blue. No clip is blue is of the form E. Now I and E, from the table let us see, I and E gives you O type. So the conclusion is some caps are not clips. Some caps are not clips. So you can see we are dealing with these 3 tables. That is why I am referring these tables for the solution. Now we have some special question, very, very important question, kindly given to me yesterday, very kindly given by Board of Studies. I got it yesterday only, and thanks to Board of Studies for sharing these special questions on syllogism. Okay, now there are around 3-4 questions. The first one I am taking up. Some dogs are cats. Some dogs are cats. Second conclusion, second statement is all cats are pigs. First one is some dogs are cats. And the second one is all cats are pigs. Some dogs are cats. First statement, some dogs are cats. This is I type. Some dogs are cats. So I am writing here it is some dogs are cats. Some dogs equal to cats. This is I type. The next one, all cats are pigs. All cats are pigs. This is number 2. So first one is I type. The second one is all cats are pigs is A type. I plus A will give you. I plus A will give you I. Okay. So the conclusion will be some cats are dogs and some dogs are pigs. Here both the conclusion will come. Some dogs are cats, so interchange if you do, some cats are dogs, and some dogs are cats, all cats are pigs. So you can conclude that some dogs are pigs. Cats and cats cancels out, some dogs are pigs. So this is Board of Studies special question number 1. So we have started doing the examples, we have taken around 3 examples and now we are taking Board of Studies example number 1. I'll take the second example. Some cats are dogs. Okay, so please note some cats are dogs. I don't want to disturb the table. I'm writing here. Some cats are dogs. Okay, some cats are dogs. This is I type. Some dogs are stones. Some dogs are stones. This is also I. Now I plus I, let's see what can be done. I plus I, if you see, I can be converted to I, and for inference there is no conversion. Okay. So from here, the conclusion given, so your statement is some cats are dogs, some dogs are stones. The conclusion given is all dogs are stones. Some dogs are stones. From there, all dogs are stones is not true. No dog is cat. Another conclusion is given. That is also not true. Okay? No cat is stone. From these two, no cat is stone. This is also not true. So, if you see the second special question which has come, here none of the conclusion is going to be true. Okay. I'll take the third one. I've got 4 questions. I'll take the third one from Board of Studies. So 1, 2 and 3. The statement is all soldiers are men. Okay, I write here all soldiers are men. All soldiers are men. Fine. First statement. Second statement, some citizens are soldiers. Some citizens are soldiers. The conclusion they have given, some citizens are men. So conclusion 1, some citizens are men. And the second conclusion is all soldiers are citizens. All soldiers are citizens. So you are given two statements. Please see carefully. All soldiers are men. All soldiers are men. It is A type. So I am writing A. Some citizens are soldiers. Some citizens are soldiers. I type. So I. A plus I. A plus I. I and A will give you I. Okay? And I can be interchanged also. So some citizens are soldiers. I can write it as some soldiers are citizens. Okay. Some soldiers are men. All soldiers are men. Some citizens are soldiers. So it's a I plus A, which will become I type conclusion. So some citizens are men. What will happen? Just check. Some citizens are soldiers. All soldiers are men. So we can write it as I type. So A plus I will give you I. So we can write some citizens, soldier cancels out. We can write some citizens are men. Some citizens are men is given. So this is correct. All soldiers are citizens. All soldiers are citizens. All soldiers are citizens. Second one does not follow, does not hold good. All soldiers are citizens means A type. A plus I is I and not A. So this is not possible. Okay. So this is the last one which has been given by Board of Studies. Now we are taking up exercise 13A. Exercise 13A. I am keeping the tables as it is. We are taking up exercise 13A. We have done 3 problems from the Board of Studies special questions which has been given. Now we are taking exercise 13A. Okay. So let us see some of the problems. I am taking number 2. Please see the example, the exercise 13A. You will see that there are 5 options. 2 conclusions are given. If one conclusion is correct, the first conclusion is correct, then you have to give A, option A. If only second conclusion is correct, then press option B. If either 1 or 2 is correct, then option C. If neither 1 and 2 is correct, option D. And if both 1 and 2 is correct, they are correct, then option E. I am taking the second question. Question number 2, exercise 13A, question number 2. No man is a lion. Ram is a man. No man is a lion. Ram is a man. No man is a lion is what type? It is a E type. No man is a lion. It is negative but universal. So it is E type. Ram is a man. Okay. So here, no man is a lion, Ram is a man. The conclusion is Ram is not a lion. No man is a lion, Ram is a man. So Ram is not a lion. This is correct. Second conclusion, all men are not Ram. This is wrong. So the first conclusion, Ram is not a lion, is correct. So here option number A will be correct. So we have done number 2, question number 2. Now let us see number 3. Number 4. We are taking number 4. All pens are cups. All pens are cups. All cups are bowls. So this is, both are A type. All pens are cups. This is A type. A type. All cups are bowls. This is also A. A plus A will give you, A plus A will give you A. Okay. So what will be the conclusion? All pens are bowls. But can you say all cups are pots? No. So if you see the question, number 4, A plus A is A. all pens are cups, all cups are bowls. That means all pens are bowls. Same logic, if A equal to B and B equal to C, then A is equal to C. Here it is, all pen are cups. All cups are bowls. That means what? All pens are equal to bowls. Okay? So the conclusion is all pens are bowls, and that is the right alternative. So here option A is correct. I am taking up number 7 now. 2, 4, 7. All names are dogs. All names are dogs. No dogs are foxes. All names are dogs. All names are dogs. A type. So it is a A type. Okay? A type. A. All names are dogs. No dogs are foxes. No dogs are foxes. This is a E type. A plus E will give you O. A plus E will give you O. Okay? So, therefore, the conclusion can be all names are dogs, no dogs are foxes. So, the conclusion can be here if you see all names are foxes. No. Conclusion 1 is not correct. Second conclusion, no dogs are names. No dogs are names is E type. It cannot happen. It has to be O type. So here, what will happen is, no foxes are names. Or if you write some foxes are not names. That will be the answer. Because it's a O type. Some foxes are not. O means some and not. Okay? Therefore, A plus E gives you O. Here, all names are dogs. It's a A type. No dogs or foxes is E type. So the conclusion has to be a O type. But if you see the conclusions which are given, all names are foxes. Conclusion 1, that is a A type. It has to be O. A type is wrong. No dogs are names. No dogs are names is E type. So it cannot be the right answer. So here neither 1 nor 2 is correct. That is option number D will be right. Okay. Now we are taking up number 9. Question number 9. So 2, 4, 7, 9. 9. Some animals are clouds. Some animals are clouds. Horse is an animal. Some animals are clouds. Horse is an animal. The conclusion given, some clouds are animals. Some animals are clouds. Some clouds are animals is possible. Why? Because some animals are clouds. It is an I type. I type can be converted to another I type. So some animals are clouds. You can convert it to some clouds are animals. Inside out. Just turn it around. Some A are B. So you can call it some B are A. So first conclusion is correct. But second conclusion, horse is not a cloud. Horse is not a cloud. This is what type? Horse is not a cloud. This is a E type. This is not correct. So here the answer is only the first conclusion is correct. So it's option A. I hope you are following and keeping a note of all this. So these 3 are very important. So, be very clear with this. Study once again. Go through this video, my video once again later on. See each of these concepts once again, and then definitely all of you will understand entirely. Right? Even if you have some doubts, go through it once again. Because since this is the last class with you, I cannot take up any further queries from next day, because next day onwards it will be statistics, and I am not going to take statistics. So you will have to, I will not be able to take up these queries. If and when additional or extra class is available, then only I can take up. I cannot repeat any of the questions once again. So that's why I am going into depth, details, keeping the formula as it is. Every part of the study material, chapter 13 has been covered. I am keeping a note of all the areas we have covered. We have taken the solved examples. We have taken the special example from Board of Studies. And now we are looking at exercise 13A. Okay. Now we are taking number 12. Okay. All papers are pens. All papers are pens. Second line is all pens are erasers. All papers are pens. All pens are erasers. All papers are pens. It is a A type. All pens are erasers. It is also A type. A plus A will give you A. So the conclusion will be all papers are pens, all pens are erasers. That means the valid conclusion can be all papers are erasers. You can also call it, if you see, some erasers are papers. This can be one of the option because A can be reduced to I type also. Okay. So here if you see the first conclusion, some erasers are papers. This is a valid conclusion. But the second conclusion, some pen are not paper. Some pen are not paper. Some and not. This is a O type. O cannot happen because A plus A is A and A can be reduced to I. O cannot come in the picture. So the second conclusion is wrong. So for question number 12, only the first conclusion is correct, which means answer A is only correct. Option A is the right one. Okay. Now we are taking number 14. Okay. Number 14. All glasses are mirrors. All glasses are mirrors. Some mirrors are black. All glasses are mirrors. A type. Okay. So number 14. First is A type. Some mirrors are black. Some and are. It is E type. So A plus E. This can give you O. A plus E can give you O. Now the conclusions given, number 1, all mirrors are glasses. All mirrors are glasses. No, all mirrors are glasses is a A type, cannot happen. Then second conclusion, some glasses are black. Some glasses are black is a E type, E. But A plus E cannot give you E. So both of them are wrong. That means neither one, not two conclusion follows. That means here none of them are correct. So option D is right. I am taking number 16. 14 is done. Number 16. All roads are, please open number 16. All roads are poles. No poles are bungalows. All roads are poles. All roads are poles is A type. No poles are bungalow is E type. A plus E can give you O. Conclusion is some roads are bungalows. Some roads are bungalow is E type. E type cannot happen. Second is some bungalows are poles. Again E type. Both are E type. Both the conclusions are E type. It cannot happen because A plus E has to be O. A plus E has to be O. But the conclusions given in question number 16 both are E type. Sorry, I type. I type. So it cannot happen. So all roads are poles. All roads are poles is A type. No poles are bungalows is E type. So result can be O. But if you see first conclusion given is some roads are bungalows. Some roads are bungalows. Some and are. Basically it's an I type. The conclusion is I type. First one. The second conclusion. Some bungalows are poles. This is also I type. But we know A plus E is O, not I. So therefore number 16, both the conclusions which are given are invalid. Therefore the option number D will be correct in case of question number 16. We take number 17 now. Many actors are directors. Many actors. All directors are dancers. Many actors are directors. All directors are dancers. Many actors are directors means I can say many actors or directors can be used as, it's not all actors, so many actors. Many actors or directors, I can rephrase it as some actors are directors. That means it is basically some and all. Some actors are, some are. Okay, so it is a I type. Some are, I type. Second statement is all directors are dancers. All directors are dancers is A type. So I plus A can give me only I. I plus A can give me I. Conclusion number 1 is some actors are dancers. Some actors are dancers. It is a I type and correct. So it is I type and correct. The second one is no director is an actor. Second conclusion, no director is an actor. No director is an actor is a E type conclusion. E. No director is an actor. E type. E type cannot happen because I plus A has to be I. So the second conclusion is wrong. So that means in case of question number 17, only the first conclusion is correct. So option A will be correct in this case. We move on to number 20 now. Question number 20, we are having some cups are belt. Some cups are belts. No belt is black. Some cups are belts. No belt is black. Some cups are belts. It is I type. Okay, so this is my rough work area. I'm keeping first one is I. Some cups are belts. Second is no belt is black. No belt is black is E type. Now E plus I will give me O. Let us see the conclusion. Conclusion number 1, some cups are black. Some cups are black is I type. I type is wrong. I type cannot happen because I plus E has to be O as per this important table. But here, conclusion number 1 is of the form, some cups are black. That is I, which is wrong. Conclusion number 2, some cups are not black. Some cups are not black. This is correct. This is a O type conclusion. So we know I plus E has to be equal to O. So in this case, the first conclusion is wrong and the second conclusion is right. Therefore, here option number B, only the second conclusion is correct. We are taking number 23. I think there are 25 problems, most probably. Taking number 23. We are doing maximum already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 already. We have done 10 problems. Let's take number 23. All cricketers are tall. All cricketers are tall. Rajesh is tall. So all cricketers are tall, fine, and Rajesh is tall. So you see, there can be two conclusions. Either Rajesh is a cricketer or Rajesh is not a cricketer. Fine. All cricketers are tall. All cricketers are tall. Rajesh is tall. So two alternatives. Either Rajesh is a cricketer or Rajesh is not a cricketer. Okay. So if you see in this case of 23, either one or two. That means either Rajesh is a cricketer or Rajesh is not a cricketer. One or two will follow, which means option C. Option C. This is number 23. I am taking number 15 also. Number 15. Some dogs are monkeys. Some dogs are monkeys. No monkey is black. Some dogs are monkeys. This is of the form. Some dogs are monkeys. This is of the form I type. No monkey is black. This is E type. No monkey is black is E type. If you combine, it can become I plus E, which is O. If you see the conclusion they are giving is some dogs are black. Okay. Some dogs are black. Some dogs are monkeys. No monkey is black. If you combine them, some dogs are black. This is not correct. Some dogs are monkeys. No monkey is black. Some dogs are monkeys. No monkey is black. Some monkeys are dogs. Some dogs are monkeys is I type. So it can be I can be converted to I. So some monkeys are dogs. Some dogs are monkeys. It can be changed to some monkeys are dogs. So only number 2 is correct. Option number, conclusion number 2 is correct. So in this case, it is option B. Only the second conclusion is correct. We go to the last one, that is 25. First proposition is all scientists are hardworking. All scientists are hardworking. This is, you can see all scientists are hardworking. What type of proposition? It's a A type. No scientists are superstitious. The second proposition is no scientists are superstitious. So it is a E type. So A plus E. This normally will give me O. A plus E will give me O. Conclusions number 1. No scientists are superstitious. No scientists are superstitious. So normally, no scientists are superstitious. Please check the question once again. All scientists are hardworking. No scientists are superstitious. So from here, definitely the second proposition becomes one of the conclusion. Okay, it is valid. No scientists are superstitious is correct. Second is, all superstitious are not scientists. All those who are superstitious are not scientists. Basically, of the form, all those who are superstitious are not scientists. Right? So this again follows naturally, because you see the proposition, all scientists are hardworking, no scientist is superstitious. So automatically all those who are superstitious cannot be scientists. Okay, so this also follows. Therefore here both the conclusions are following. Hence the answer will be E, because all the conclusions are following. With this we complete the chapter. Dear students, we now go to the last few questions which I am taking from the MTP, the model test paper, May 2020. I am taking question number 50. So I am keeping a note. We have done exercise 13A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 questions. And now we are taking up MTP. MTP, I am taking question number 50. Okay. The first question, please open MTP. I am sure all of you have found the link for MTP. I have sent it across in my responses. I am sure you are able to download all my responses to your queries from the ECPL site. Okay. Now, number 50, if you open 50, question number 50, May 2020 MTP. The first question says, some dogs are cats, all cats are pigs. I think we have handled this question already. Some dogs are cats, all cats are pigs. So, some dogs are cats is I type, okay? It's a I type. Some dogs are cats, it is I type, and all cats are pigs. This is O type, E type, sorry. All cats are pigs is A type, sorry. All cats are pigs. So I plus A will give me I. So the conclusions, if you see, some dogs are pigs. Some dogs are cats, all cats are pigs. So some dogs are pigs, it is correct. Some cats are dogs also correct, because I type can be converted to another I type. Here, some dogs are cats, so you can reverse it. Some cats are dogs. Therefore, in question number 50 of the MTP, both the conclusions given are correct. So here the option is number D. I am taking number 51. Okay, this also I think I have done. Some cats are dogs, some dogs are stones. Some cats are dogs, some dogs are stones. Now, the conclusion, some cats are dogs is basically of the form I. Some dogs are stones. Some dogs are stones is also I. I can be converted only to I. So, here, some cats are dogs, some dogs are stones. Conclusion number 1, no cat is stone. Wrong conclusion. All dogs are stones. All dogs are stones is an A-type conclusion. Not possible. Because I and I will not give you A. Some stones are cats. No, not possible. Some stones are dogs is possible. But some stones are cats is not possible. No dog is a cat. No dog is a cat is a E-type conclusion. Not possible. I and I will not give you E. Therefore, in this case, none of the conclusions are correct. That means option number D is the right option. So we have taken number 50, 51 and now we take 52. 50, 51 and 52. Question number 52, let us quickly see. All men are women. First statement is all men are women. So this is A type. All means everybody. All men are women. A type. All women are crazy. All women are crazy. This is also A type. So A plus A will give me A. A plus A will give me A. So all men are women. All women are crazy. So the conclusion is all men are crazy. So option number 1, conclusion number 1 is correct. All men are crazy. Conclusion number 1 is correct. Second conclusion, all the crazy are men. No. all the crazy are not men. All women are crazy. All the crazy are not. All the crazy are men. This is not correct. So option number conclusion 2 is wrong. Conclusion 3. Some of the crazy are men. Some of the crazy are men. Now all men are women. All women are crazy. So all men are crazy. If all men are crazy, some of the crazy are men. This is correct. Some of the crazy are men. Option 3 is correct. That is the conclusion 3 is correct. Last one, some of the crazy are women. If all women are crazy, then some of the crazy will be women. True, it is correct. So conclusion 4 is correct. That means here conclusion 1 is correct, 3 is correct and 4 is correct. So 1, 3 and 4 are correct, which means in this given question option C is correct, because option C says conclusion 1, conclusion 3 and conclusion 4. Okay, so this is syllogism. We have completed this chapter. We started with the concept of syllogism. We went into what is statement, discussed about propositions. We went into details of the types of premises, major premise, minor premise. Then we looked at transitive nature. If A is B, B is C, then A is also equal to C. I'm sure you have followed it and you have noted it. Then we saw the 2 rules. You may remember, if P is Q, if P then Q, if Q then R, then the conclusion is if P then R. So that we did. We discussed about universal proposition and particular proposition, major premise, minor premise. Then I went into different parts of a proposition. We talked about the subject, the predicate, the quantifier, the copula. I gave number of examples using Venn diagram, which you must have noted, valid conclusion, invalid conclusion. We also looked at the 3 types of propositions, right? Disjunctive proposition, right? For example, we looked at the 4 types of proposition, right? So we first discussed about the 3 types, disjunctive, we have hypothetical proposition, right? So after that we went into the 4 types of proposition. A type, which is universal and positive, E type, that is universal and negative. Then we had I type, which is particular and positive, and O type, which is particular and negative. After that, we discussed about the inference, 2 types of inference, immediate inference and mediate inference. Then I discussed about the important table number 1. A type can be converted to I type, E type to O type. I type cannot be converted, O type cannot be converted. Table 1 is done. We went into table 2 for the conversion part. A can be converted to A, E to E, I to I, but O cannot be converted further. Then we focused on the summation of 2 propositions. A proposition and A proposition will give A. I plus A will give I. A plus E will give O. And E plus I will also give O. After we discussed all this, we went into the solved examples. We analyzed each of the examples from our study material. Then we went into the special questions from the Board of Studies. I completed 3 of the important questions given by the Board of Studies yesterday. Then we went and solved 12 questions from exercise 13A. And finally we completed 3 questions. We solved 3 questions from the MTP May 2020. So dear students, I hope you have followed. This is definitely the last chapter of logical reasoning. With this, I am completing this chapter, and now I am taking up the remaining 10-15 minutes. I am going to discuss on, because today is the last session with you on logical reasoning. So I will be taking some of the issues and some of the remaining questions from the last day's session, that is on blood relations, and then we will wind up. So I will request Girish ji and the others from ECPL to give me another 15 minutes so that we can complete this being the last session with you. So I am taking up some of the remaining issues from the seating arrangement, also from blood relations, and we will try, and this is the extra time we have got, so we will try and solve some of the questions. Many of you have sent queries. I have responded to all of them. Dhruv, Aditi Jain, Utkarsh, Prapti Das, Narayanan B, then Aditi Ajit Mane, Gungun, Kunal, Alfred Anthony, Harish. I have responded to all of you. Sahil Khan also. Abhishek Pandey, Vishnu Vardhan, Kusum Kumari, Ananthi, M. Durai, Tinakar. I have responded to all your queries. Also, I want to thank some of you today being the last session with you. For the time being, Utkarsh, Sai Reddy, Anushka Lakshmikant, Hernar, Kalyani Kasar, Sanskruti Jayas, Mahadevan K and Ananti, my thanks to you for all the positive comments you have sent and the fact that you are able to follow the classes and getting the interest. Now, I'll take some responses regarding some of the sessions I had on 1st of August and 3rd of August, especially with regard to the logical reasoning part. First, Prapti Das. So I will have to rub this out. I'll take some of the questions, and allotted time is requesting for 15 minutes of additional time from the Board of Studies so that I can complete. Today being the last session with you, I'll just try to complete these important areas. Okay. So Prapti Das has said, question, sir, our relation with mother's sister's husband. Now, sister's husband. Mother's sister's husband we call uncle, definitely. But to be very honest, we have no blood relation. So Prapti, mother's sister's husband, we may call him uncle, but ideally there is no blood relation. So from the mathematical point of view, from the logical reasoning point of view, there is no relation. Second question by Prapti, my husband's wife's sister will be my sister. My husband's wife's sister is definitely my sister. Okay, I hope it's clear now. Abhishek Pandey, next question. What to say to father's brother's wife? Now, to father's brother's wife. Now, father's brother's wife, normally we call as aunt, definitely. But from the blood relation point of view, there is no blood relation. So, no relation. From view, no relation. What to say to father's sister? Now, father's sister, definitely in Hindi we may say bua, right? She is an aunt, and I have a blood relation definitely with my aunt. So, father's brother's wife, no relation, but father's sister, yes, aunt. So, Abhishek Pandey, I hope you are clear. Now, I will take some important points now. This is with regard to some very, very urgent clarification which Board of Studies has given very kindly, and I received it yesterday from the Board of Studies. I thank the Board of Studies for immediately responding to my request. Now, this was a very famous question which we did regarding the 5 senior citizens, Ashokan, Muan, Gaurav and others, you may remember. We solved it based on the language of the question, but now Board of Studies has given a clarification yesterday. Many of you have sent requests, Devansh Kanodia, Kyaneshwar D, Reet Dubey, Shiva Krishna Prasad, Aman Goel, Tushar Datta, Ishika Yadav, Aditi Shah, Shruti and Chetna Agarwal. Based on your request, I had done the problem. Thereafter, I interacted with the Board of Studies and they have advised me that there is a small change in the question. Now, in the question it was given, I'll just take the question. 5 senior citizens are living, this was example 11A, I think, and question number 11. Okay, so chapter 11, I think. 5 senior citizens living in a multi-storied building. Mr. Muan lives in a flat above Mr. Ashokan. Okay, Mr. Muan lives in a flat above Mr. Ashokan. Fine. Mr. Lokesh in a flat below Mr. Gaurav. Mr. Lokesh in a flat below Mr. Gaurav. Fine. Now, Mr. Ashokan lives in a flat, in the question it was given, below Mr. Gaurav. But now Board of Studies yesterday has kindly clarified me and advised me to note that in this question, Mr. Ashokan lives in a flat above Mr. Gaurav. So the question, it will be above Mr. Gaurav. So Mr. Ashokan lives in a flat above Mr. Gaurav. So Mr. Gaurav now comes here. Gaurav, below Mr. Gaurav we have Mr. Lokesh. And then lastly it is mentioned, Mr. Rakesh lives in a flat below Mr. Lokesh. So below Lokesh we have Rakesh. So now the revised order is this. Mr. Muan now is at the top, followed by Mr. Ashokan. Then we have Mr. Gaurav, then Mr. Lokesh, then Mr. Rakesh. Thanks to Board of Studies for giving the clarification. Now I think this is in order, and Mr. Muan is now in the highest floor. So please make the change in the question. In the question, Mr. Ashokan lives in a flat above Mr. Gaurav. So please make this change. Thanks to Board of Studies for giving me the clarification. Okay. Now there was another question, 23 and 24, and question request came from, I think this is seating arrangement. So probably this is 11 only, and the question was 23 and 24. Request came from Ananthi, Kajal, Anjali Goenka, Muskan, Ishika Yadav, Anushka Lakshmikant Khernar, Aditi Shah, Sai Teja, Kushal, Sintu Kumar and Mayank Prajapati. A group of singers facing the audience are standing in a line on the stage as follows, where it was given, D is not right to C. Now they are facing the audience. So question is, if the audience is here, they are facing you. That means if the audience is here, if people are here, audience, then they are facing the stage. They are facing the stage. Okay, that means they are facing south. They are facing south. That is what we assume, because audience is in front. So they are facing south. Now there is a problem here. D is not right to C, F is not standing beside G, B is not left of A, E is not left of A. C and B has one person between E and F. The last line of the question is, there are two persons H and C. I am not very clear with the meaning of this sentence. There are two persons H and C. Now if I assume that there is some printing error, and if it is, there are two persons between H and C. If I assume that the actual sentence should have been, there are two persons between H and C, then definitely the order I can find out, the order will be EAB, FC, DGH. This is what I am getting. Now let me see whether the conditions are met. D is not right to C, first condition. D is not right to C. Please note, now they are facing towards you. So D is not right to C. That means D is to the left of C. So D is to the left of C. First condition is done. F is not standing beside G. F is here, G is here. So we have satisfied. B is not left of A. B is not left of A. That means B is to the right of F. F right. So we have satisfied this. E is not left of A. E is, that means, to the right of A. A is right, we have made E sit. C and B has one person between E and F. C and B has one person F. So we have satisfied that also. Last line which I am assuming is, there are two persons between H and C. In the question which I have got, it is written, there are two persons H and C. But I am assuming that the question may be, there are two persons between H and C. Then between H and C, I have kept D and G. Two persons. So this is the order which I am getting based on the facts given and as per my assumptions. So question 23, who is on the second extreme right? The second extreme right comes to G. My answer is G. And if we start counting from the left, in which position is B? Well, B comes to third position. This is what I am getting based on the facts, and you can see I have satisfied all the facts. You have to keep in mind that they are facing the audience. So naturally they are facing south. They are not sitting in a row and not facing north. They are facing south. So 23 and 24 we have taken up. Now few questions. I will request Board of Studies to give me just 10 minutes more so that we can complete. And this is the last session, so I want to make sure that maximum queries are cleared. Question number 8, number 11A. Question 8, exercise 11A. Exercise 11A, number 8. Preet Dubey, Sanjana, Annapurna K and Khushi Gupta. So, please see the question. Now, I am not explaining. 6 persons are sitting. So, E is not at the end of any row. So, there is a row here. Quickly, let us see. E is not at the end of any row. D is second to the left of F. D is second to the left of F. Now these guys are facing south and the people sitting here are facing north. So you have to keep that in mind. Now as per the conditions given, E is not at the end of any row. So I am putting E in between. D is second to the left of F. D is second to the left of F. I am keeping D here and F here. So second to the left of F. Second to the left of F. C, the neighbor of E, is facing diagonally opposite. C is the neighbor of E. C is the neighbor of E. So I am keeping C here. B is the neighbor of F. B is the neighbor of F. So B and F is here. So that means I am getting CEA in the first row and DBF in the second row. So if you see which of the following are in one of the two rows, option given is DBF, option A. So DBF, option A is right. So I hope Reet Dubey, Sanjana, Annapurna and Kushi Gupta, you are clear. This was question 8. Now I am taking up question number 10, 11A. Arnab Bajaj, Shivam Agarwal, Sai Teja, Dhanu Jirawala, Kushi Gupta, Shruti, Aditi Shah, Srajal Gupta and Om Goel. I hope I have taken all the names who have sent requests for this, and today being the last session, I am taking up this question also. 5 children are sitting in a row. Fine. So that means we are assuming they are facing north. Okay. S is sitting next to P. S is sitting next to P but not K. So I am keeping S here, P here, T here. S is sitting next to P but not to T. S is sitting next to P but not to T. K is sitting next to R. K is sitting next to R. Fine. Who is sitting on the extreme left? So I have kept R in the extreme left. T is not sitting next to K. T is not sitting next to K. Fine. So my order is RKSPT, 5 persons. So the question was, who is adjacent to S? Adjacent means near, sitting next to next. Who is adjacent to S? So the answer you can see is adjacent to S, P and K. So my answer is K and P, that is option A. I hope Shivam, Arnav, Dhanu, Aditi, Srajal, Om, Kushi and Shruti, you are clear with the order. Please keep a note of this. Okay, 18 to 22, question 11, exercise 11A. Many requests have come. Muskan, Prachi Pandey, Shreya Mukherjee, Kushi Gupta, Harsha Gupta, Kushi, Deepak Khankari, Aditi Shah, Srajal Gupta, Chetna Agarwal, Om Goel and Jai Bakra. Now this is a question, long question which is given 18 to 22, but we have to recheck the question because if you see the third condition, I am just requesting you to note the conditions, and there is an issue I think with this question which we will recheck. 18 to 22, exercise 11A. Now condition number 3 says that G is sitting left of D. Okay, G is sitting, now they are sitting in a row facing west. 10 guys I think are sitting in a row facing west, western side. Now G is sitting left of D. So if D is here, G is sitting left of D. Left of D, fine. And H is sitting to the right of J. H is sitting to the right of J. H is sitting to the right of J. Please note they are facing western side. This is condition number 3. Condition number 6 is saying J is between A and D. J is between A and D, but it cannot happen. J cannot be between A and D because on one side you have H already. H is blocked. So I have a problem in this particular part. Similarly, G is between E and F. G cannot be between E and F because G on one side we already have D. I hope you are understanding the problem. We will recheck it. If you remove condition number 6, and if I keep all the other conditions as it is, I have solved it. Keeping all the conditions as it is, excepting condition 6. My order is this. And I will see whether the solution is satisfying all the conditions. Please note they are sitting like this facing the west. The order which I have prepared is I, B, H, J, ACD, ACD, GFE, GFE. Let's see whether we are satisfying the conditions. First condition says B and F are not sitting on either of the edges. B and F are not sitting. First condition done. G is sitting left of D. G is sitting left of D. Yes, left of D, done. Second condition done. H is sitting to the right of J. H is sitting to the right of J. Condition done. There are 4 persons between A and E. 4 persons between A and E. A is here. E is here. A is here. E is here. We have F, G, D and C. So 4 persons. Condition satisfied. I is in the north of B. North means above. I is in the north of B. Satisfied. And F is in the south of D. F is in the south of D. D is here. F is here. So this also is satisfied. Then we have condition 6, which I did not satisfy because of a clash. And the last is there are 2 persons between H and C. H is here and C is here. So we have H and C. Between them we have J and A. 2 persons. So we have satisfied. This is my solution. So I hope Muskan, Prachi, Shreya, Khushi, Harsha, Aditi, Khushi, Deepak, Srajal Gupta, Jai Batra, Chetna and Om, you are clear with this. Okay. So 18 to 22, if this is the order, you can easily solve, but accepting condition 6 because there is a clash with condition 6. Okay. Last few I will take. Exercise 12A. So this is completes my 11. Now we take 12. That is, this is the blood relation. 12 we are taking up. Number 19. Exercise 12. I am taking number 19. And this is Arti Anand, Sumit Kalra, Hina, Anushka Lakshmikant Khairnar, Shreyashi Bhattacharya. They have requested me. A and B are sisters. A and B are sisters. A is the mother of D. Number 19, A and B are sisters, so both are female. A is the mother of D. A is the mother of D. Mom. Now B has a daughter C. B has a daughter C who is married to F. F is the husband, C is the wife. G is the husband of A. G is the husband of A, so wife. How is C related to D? Question is, how is C related to D? So you can easily understand Arti, Sumit, Hina, Anushka and Shreyashi that C's mother is B, D's mother is A. Both are sisters. Therefore, C and D are cousins. Okay, they are siblings, but cousin brothers, cousin sisters. I think they are, C is a female. Okay, fine. So this is number 19. I think it's clear. Number 50 we are taking up. Number 50. This was regarding 2 film stars. Question number 50 now. Okay, so I hope to wind up exactly at 5 and just taking the remaining few minutes to utilize as much as possible for your benefit. Number 50, there are 2 film stars. One is the father of the other's son. 2 film stars, A and B. One is the father of the other's son. So B's son. First of all, one is the father. So this guy is male. He is the father of the other son, B's son. This is only possible when A and B are husband and wife. So if one is the father of the other son, then this is only possible when they are husband and wife. So the relation between the 2 film stars is husband and wife. This is question 50. I take number 10 quickly. Question number 10. Number 11. Okay, number 11, Kunal has requested me to take this up. Number 11, for Kunal, A is B's brother, A is B's brother, A is the brother of B, C is A's mother, C is A's mother, mom, D is C's father, D is C's father, fine, E is B's son, E is B's son. How is B related to D? How is B related to D? So you can understand how is B related to D. So B's brothers, that means C is the mother of A. A and B are brothers. So C is also the mother of B. That means D is what? B is mother's father. So grandfather. That means B is the granddaughter of D. So I think Kunal, you have got it. The answer is granddaughter. Quickly going to number 9. Hina has a request. Okay. Number 9. This is for Hina. A's mother, this is number 9, exercise 12A. A's mother is sister of B. A's mother is sister of B. A's mom is sister of B. Fine. And she has a daughter C who is 21 years old. So A's mother is the sister of B and she has a daughter C who is 21 years old. So she is a female. Fine. How is B related to C? How is B related to C? So you can understand that A's mother is, say, let's call her X. So X is A's mother. At the same time, X has a daughter C. So A and C are siblings, first of all. Now, question is, A's mother is sister of B. A's mother is the sister of B. And she has a daughter C. So C is basically her mother. B is C's mother's, X is B's sister. So B can be male also. If B is male, then B is the maternal uncle of C. C is mother's brother. C is mom's brother. So it can be maternal uncle. Answer is maternal uncle. So this was for Hina. Okay. Now number 21, last 2-3 problems before we wrap up. Number 21, this is Arti Anand and Shreyashi Bhattacharya. Arti Anand and Shreyashi Bhattacharya. Please note there is a clarification from the Board of Studies. I invite all your attention to this one. Question number 21. Without the clarification, you will not get the right answer. So I had requested, and Board of Studies yesterday very, very kindly, graciously, they have given me the update so that I can share with you, today being the last session with you, so I can share this question with you and make you know the change in the question. I thank the Board of Studies for this. The question is, A is B's brother. A is B's brother. A is the brother of B. Fine. C is A's mother. C is A's mother. Fine. D is C's father. D's father is, C's father is D. B is C's father. B is D's granddaughter. Okay, B is definitely D's granddaughter. Fine. Now, how is B related to D? In the question it was given, in the study material question it was given, how is B related to D? But it will not be D, it will be F. This is the Board of Studies clarification which has come. The question will be, how is B related to F? Who is A's son? So A's son is F. And how is B related to F? That is the question. Thanks to Board of Studies for giving me the clarification yesterday. Kindly make this change in your study material so that you don't make a mistake and you will arrive at the right answer. That means instead of D, it will be F. So therefore, F is A's son. That means A's son, A is the brother of B. Okay, and it is given that B is D's granddaughter. So B is a female. So her brother's son, that means B is the aunt of F. So the relation is aunt. Please remember, it will be aunt and make the change. This was 21 and I come to the last 2 questions here. So I will take a question from Faizan. Faizan, this is number 32. Question number 32. The last 2 questions. Okay, 32. Okay. Pointing towards A, B said, your mother is the younger sister of my mother. Your mother is the younger sister of my mother. So this has come from Faizan Bilal. Please check the question. B is telling A that your mother, that is A's mother, is the younger sister of my mother. His mother is the younger sister of B's mother. So you can see how is A related to B. So that means A's mother and B's mother are sisters. So A and B, what is the relation between them? They are cousins. They are basically brothers. We are assuming both A and B are male. So we are assuming they are the cousin brothers. So their mother, both their mothers are sisters. So I think 32 is done and Faizan, you are clear. I take Rakshita's question, which is number 45. Rakshita's question number 45. Okay, quickly we will take question 45, exercise 12A. Suresh's sister is the wife of Ram. Suresh's sister is the wife of Ram, and Ram is Rani's brother. Okay, this is a long one. Ram is Rani's brother. Okay, Ram is the brother of Rani. Ram's father is Madhur. Okay, Ram's father is Madhur. Okay, Shital is Ram's grandmother. Okay, grandmother is Shital. Rima is Shital's daughter-in-law. Rima is Shital's daughter-in-law. That means Madhur's wife. Rima. And Rohit is Rani's brother's son. Who is Rohit Suresh? Rohit and Suresh. So you have to find out the relation of Suresh and Rohit. The question, the answer, if you just analyze the relation, it comes to their nephews. Okay, so Rohit to Suresh is nephew. Okay, I will take the last one, and that is 47. This is a critical question, and again we will check this answer. 47. Aman Goyal and Shruti requested me to take this up. Among her children, please see the last question. Among her children, Ganga's favorites are Ram and Rekha. So Ganga's favorites, Ganga is here, two children, Ram and Rekha. Please note this question very carefully, Ram and Rekha. Fine. Rekha is the mother of Sharat. Rekha is the mother of Sharat. Fine. Who is loved most by his uncle Mithun? So Sharat is loved by his uncle Mithun. Okay, Mithun is the paternal uncle. I am writing paternal uncle. Fine. The head of the family is Ram Lal, who is succeeded by his sons Gopal and Mohan. The head of the family is Ram Lal. I am writing Ram Lal here, and he has two sons, that is Gopal and Mohan. Gopal and Mohan. Fine. Next point is that Gopal and Ganga have been married for 35 years. So Gopal and Ganga, they are husband and wife. Gopal and Ganga, they are husband and wife, and they have 3 children. Fine. So we have one children, Ram, the other is Rekha, third one we don't know the name. Here it's not mentioned. Okay. What is the relation between Mithun and Mohan? Mithun is here and Mohan is here. Classic question, 47, last one which I am solving today. So Mithun and Mohan, what is the relation? Friends, please note, Mithun is the paternal uncle of Sharat, right? Therefore, on his father's side, and Sharat's mother is Rekha, Rekha's mother is Ganga, and you can see that Rekha's father is Gopal, Rekha's uncle is Mohan from his paternal side. So basically, Mithun and Mohan will have no blood relation. They will have no blood relation because Mithun is the paternal uncle of Sharat. So he is the brother of the husband of Rekha. Rekha's husband, his brother is Mithun. So naturally Mithun can have no blood relation with Mohan. I hope it is clear, and that means the answer here, I don't know the option, I think possibly the option is D. No blood relation, no relation. They have no blood relation in this case. Because he is the paternal uncle, fathers, so that means Mithun is the brother of the husband of Rekha. That means Sharat's father's brother. Right? So no relation with the mainstream family and with Mohan. So dear students, 5 already, and I hope we have done a lot of work today, and I have followed all the queries and sent the answers to them, solved many of them. Thanks to the Board of Studies for giving the clarification which I was able to share with you so that you can make the changes. And syllogism chapter we have completed along with the MTP, along with the special questions from the Board of Studies, as well as the exercise 13A. Please go on revising the 4 basic rules: A type, E type, I type and O type, and the formula A plus A is A plus I is I, A plus E is O, and E plus I is also O. Please go on, following that. And thanks a lot for watching all the episodes. Today is my last session with you for the time being. Tomorrow onwards, the next day onwards, it will be statistics. Please keep up the tempo. Please practice the problems under exam conditions. Be positive and go on solving as many problems as possible from additional question bank as well as from the MTP, many of which we have solved here. It's been a wonderful journey with you so far. Wishing you very best. Keep practicing. Till we meet, take care and bye for now.